Hi, this is Lisa Johnson for Diet.com, and it is fall. Time to break out the soups. We are going to do two traditional soups today, but we're going to do them super healthy. We're going to do a chicken vegetable soup and French onion soup. We're going to start off with our healthy chicken soup. So I have my roasted chicken left over from last night. And then we're going to have something called mirepoix, which is a base for all kinds of healthy soups. It is a combination of onions and some celery and some carrots. I like to add extra vegetables to my chicken soup, so I have some bell peppers. We need lots of seasoning. I've got oregano and basil. And then of course you need a little bit of chicken broth and a little bit of olive oil. For the chicken soup, we're going to take a little bit of olive oil and coat the bottom of our pan. You're going to need about 3 tablespoons, just enough to get it coated. That's it. We need to start with the onions, and this is the most important step in the whole soup. You want to make sure these onions are cooked properly. It sets the richness and the savoriness of the soup. It is very important. So pour these guys in. Stir them into the olive oil, make sure they're well coated. Want to be on medium heat here. When you're getting those onions ready in the bottom, you want to take 10 to 20 minutes. The longer you take to cook them, the more savory they're going to be. They want to be a nice translucent color. Our onions are soft and translucent, so we are going to add the rest of the mirepoix, which is finely diced celery, and most people dice the carrots finely as well, but I actually like them chunky, so that's what I'm going to do, make them chunky. Stir them in just a couple minutes to warm them up and start to soften them, and then we're going to add the broth and the chicken. You want to use a low sodium chicken broth. You can always add salt, but you can't take it away. So start with the low sodium, it's healthier anyway. Now what we're going to do is add our spices, so oregano and basil. Stir that in, get it mixed. Smells good right away when you use fresh herbs. It is perfectly okay to use dried herbs if that's all you have. Now we're going to add the chicken. It's still on the carcass. We are going to have to pick this off later after it cooks for a while. Put in your pieces. And then we're going to take some water, just enough to cover the chicken in the pot. You want to boil off that meat. We are good to go. So this is going to sit for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we'll come back. Our chicken is falling off the bone, and we need to get those bones out of the soup, so that's what we're going to do right now. We've been boiling the soup for a couple hours. I love a long, slow cooked chicken soup. So good. All the flavors really meld together. It's amazing. So let's grab our bones and pick them out. Place them on a tray. I know, it's not the prettiest part, but it's necessary. That's it. We're going to let this chicken cool, because if I tried to take the chicken off right now, I'd burn my fingers. So let it cool for 5 to 10 minutes. And in the meantime, we can take the bell peppers and throw those into the mix. They only need to cook for about an hour or so. Our chicken has cooled off, so now all we need to do is pick it off of the bone. You can use a pair of tongs, shred it. As it's going in, you want little pieces. You are eventually going to get to the point where you need to get in there with your fingers. So our chicken soup is done. We left it on the stove for another hour. By the way, if your broth starts getting low, just add more water to it. You don't need to do more chicken broth, just regular old water is fine. We're going to ladle it up and eat. looks delicious. One of the things to keep in mind when you're looking for super healthy chicken soup is to make sure you don't put any starches in it. So avoid the rice, especially the white rice, and avoid the noodles or egg noodles, anything like that. Just stick to vegetables and chicken. Keeps the calorie count really low, keeps the nutrients really high. It is great. Moving on to French onion soup, we're making it super healthy by taking away the traditional beef broth and using a vegetable broth instead. So this will actually be a vegetarian option. We start off with a little bit of garlic, a lot of onions. We will definitely be using that. And then for the savoriness to replace the beef broth, we're going to use vegetable stock and a little bit of Dijon mustard, a little bit of olive oil to get things started, and then when we finish it off in the oven, we're going to use traditional French bread and some shredded Parmesan. For the French onion soup, we're going to take a little bit of olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, and we're just going to let that warm up. We're going to add our garlic to the bottom and start to get it warmed up. Mix it in with the olive oil. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of Dijon. Now we're going to add the vegetable broth. You want 6 cups here. Once you get your broth going nice and fragrant, you want to add the onions in. And we are going to let these simmer for about an hour. Our French onion soup has been going for 2 hours now. I really wanted those flavors to meld together, so I let it go a little bit longer. Now we're at the point where we can just eat it. But if you want to do the traditional French onion soup, then we need to add the bread and a little bit of cheese to it, so we're going to do that now. You can use Parmesan or mozzarella or a blend of the two. It is totally your choice. Just ladle it into the bowl. Make sure when you put your bowl in the oven that you have it on a cookie tray so nothing bad happens in case some cheese spills over. From here we're going to take some bread and place it on top. I did go with the traditional French bread. You can definitely use a whole grain if you would prefer. That would definitely be healthier. Take a little bit of your favorite cheese, put it over, and a little goes a long way. That's going to keep it on the healthier side. Keep the cheese on the light side. From here, we're just going to slide it into the oven. There we have some pretty awesome, cheesy, melty French bread right on top. That looks amazing. I cannot wait to try it. By the way, a traditional French onion soup with all of the fixings can be over 400 calories, sometimes as high as 500 calories. Our version here is about 175 calories. This is Lisa Johnson for Diet.com. I hope you enjoyed those calorie-friendly, super healthy soups. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I will see you soon.